Hi, I'm Becky Rose Dungeon Girl, and today I am going to teach you how to be a world champion role player. Not that role-playing has a world championship, but what it does have is the Cthulhu Masters, which is too small to be a world championship. But we'll gloss over that detail because I'm the reigning champ and therefore it's a world championship, okay? How do you win a role-playing tournament? Well, the first thing you could do is sleep with a judge. But in a role-playing tournament, it's actually the other players who are the judges, not the GMs. The GM only decides a tie if the voting is, well, tied. So how does the Cthulhu Masters work? Well, you've got 6 tables, all of them are sort of like a semi-final per se. And then you've got a final for the winners from each table to play in. Except there's also a stage in between where they shed a few people off, so that you kind of have to get through twice. You know, 1 year and you'll probably get cast off, and then in the next year, oh well, you won before, so you must be good. Through you go to the final. I didn't do that. I fluked it in my first year. Ha! So how do you fluke it in your first year at the Masters? You just stroll in and you take the title. But it's a bit more involved than that, you see. In the first round, my job was to win the votes of everyone at the table. Well, obviously not everyone, I don't think that's possible, although I gather I did win it by, a reasonable amount. So how did I do that? You see, my first round was quite interesting in terms of all the convention games I've ever played. It was punctuated by a drunk player at the table, and for a Cthulhu game, it's the first time I've done one where there wasn't anything really to investigate. We're just kind of waiting for the inevitable sanity loss at the end. I've done a lot of convention games, and this one was sadly up there for the challenge that it presented. So I focused on just trying to play a good character, but I was sat next to the very, very loud drunk person. You see, this is a tournament. It's not just about role-playing. You've got to win people over. That includes with your role-playing, but it also includes when you're not role-playing. So in my first round, I'm sat next to a drunk person. Of course I'm friendly, I want him to vote for me, but he's paying no attention to the game. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but in it to win it, right? So, you've got to win people over, which means be nice, let the GM deal with the drunk player. He didn't deal with the drunk player, unfortunately, but you've got to win votes. So, suck cock. No, I didn't do that. I'm getting a nasty look. But you do have to win hearts and minds. I did roleplay as well as I could in the circumstances in which I found myself. In the words of another player, you were pretty good. Quiet, but pretty good. Well, of course I was quiet. I was next to a really loud, obnoxious person. He was lovely. Thank you, please vote for me. No, he was very friendly, just not playing the game. That was my first round. It was a challenge. So I got put through into that group of 6 people and from that group of 6, 4 get selected for the final. And it's the final I want to talk about, where I can actually teach you something useful. How to win at a role-playing tournament. I was lucky enough to get put through in the final 4 because my first game was such a train wreck that the organisers said, yes, you'll be one of the ones to go through. So there I am in the final, and I've never played a game like it. For a start, the adrenaline of competition kicked in, and I think for everyone at that table. Everyone was there to roleplay their guts out. They all wanted to be voted as the best role player. You cannot win a role-playing tournament by role-playing well. Can't be done. You need to roleplay well, but that isn't what will win it, because everyone is roleplaying well. The experience of the final is one I will remember for a very long time. The pressure to perform is very high, the intensity, the drama, the wanting to win, everyone there wanting to win, creates this atmosphere that just builds quality characters and amazing stories. So let me tell you a bit about the final. The premise was quite simple. We were in an orange jumpsuit with a badge that we actually wore. It was a badge that was around the neck thing, and it was for a mental institution and an inmate number. We were prisoners, criminally insane. One of us was handcuffed, one of us was holding a key, one of us had just pulled his face off, and I was holding a gun. We were in a kitchen of a farmstead in 1980s America, and on the table was a dead body with the head blown off. I'm just trying to work out if this is the one from the game or the real one.
No, what do you mean real one?
The scene opens, and of course, within moments we're all stood up and gesturing and acting. Overacting probably, but acting. And the story begins to unfold. A load of stuff later. Basically, during the adventure, we're all given one opportunity for a flashback. We're taken to a point before we were incarcerated, where it's just us, and the entire focus is on us as individuals. The GM just prompting ideas, and we're trying to tell the story of who this person is. And so the flashbacks are quite pivotal moments in the shaping of that character. And everyone gave good flashbacks. I would say mine was not the best of the bunch. And I actually had something in mind that was different to what the GM had in mind, so when he prompted, that's fact. I then have to bounce off those facts, which weren't where I was trying to take it. So, it's fine, that's part of the game. I'm reacting, I'm being tested as a role player with these segues left and right in terms of the characters' drive and who they are. It was fine, nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't a game winner. So how do you win a world championship sort of role-playing tournament? Okay, here's the deal. There are two things you have to remember. One, you are there to entertain the judges, and the judges are the other players. Now, this is a skill you can take into any other game and make the game better for it. If you're entertaining the other players, they'll bounce off that and they will entertain you more. That's how it works. When we enter, or when we play a role-playing game, it's no different to a tournament game. We are there to have fun and to enjoy the experience. Entertain your fellow players and they will entertain you back. But that isn't what actually won it. There's one more thing. There's one more thing that won me the Cthulhu Masters this year, and it's the most important thing if you're ever going to win a role-playing tournament. Tell a story. You are there to tell a story. And so often in role-playing we give all of the agency for this over to the GM, and that's fine in the conventional model for how role-playing works. And it's okay, but you can do more than that. And here's where you can really bring something to your games. Tell a story. You see, at the end of the Cthulhu Masters final, we were all given our opportunity to tell our own little bit of story. And this is where I went off script, you see, because everyone else, they touched the Cthulhu mythos blood splatter on the wall, they were taken out, they vanished from the scene, and then they were able to narrate what happened to them in 6 months' time. I knew this was the end. I saw the opportunity I wanted a win, right? So I blew my brains out. I did not follow the same pattern. And yeah, there was dramas, acting, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. We're all acting, it's fine. You know, the role-playing was great throughout, but that's not what wins. Instead of going 6 months forward and saying where my character was now, you know, still being mad and everything else, telling the story. My flashback was about the time that my character was 9 years old, with a jack-o'-lantern, and it was Halloween, and I had stolen all the sweets from the other kids and filled my jack-o'-lantern with sweets. And the story I told was that my father had beaten me up for stealing the sweets, you know. Wasn't the direction I wanted to go, but it's where I ended up. Now, another point of drama was that my character claimed to be innocent. Well, of course, everyone inside does. He even had convinced himself of a lie that he'd never been caught, as his mother dubbed him in. His father was always strangely absent. Anyway, come the end, there I am, in a farmstead, in a kitchen, dressed in a Halloween outfit. Oh, I didn't miss that from the fucking story. Yes, apparently one of my emotional scars was that I never had a Halloween outfit for trick-or-treating. So there I was as the Milky Bar kid bouncing around, going bang, 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 you know, saying bang, 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 holding a real gun. On the kitchen table was a dead person with their head blown off. You can guess who. The point is to tell a story. Tell a story. Because that's what role-playing is. Storytelling. You want to win a role-playing contest? Great, you know, go ahead, do it. Enter one. Fantastic. If you want to play a role-playing game, tell a story.